Kristen from Soul Therapy here. I'm sure some of you have seen my previous video where I was just really upset and really stressed out about what's going on with our current situation in the world today. I've since done a lot of work around it and realized that it really only is as bad as we give it power to be. And that I think what was more concerning to me, or what was more hurtful to me, was that there seems to be two factions being created here. One are the people who have been investigating the truth for a very long time. And when I say truth, those who know what I'm talking about know what I'm talking about. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, then you're part of the other half. And that within my family is this divide. There's those of us who understand what's really going on and what's really coming, and those of us that not only don't understand it, but don't even want to hear it, don't even want to look at it, don't even want to believe it. And it's hard to love someone and to watch them deny the truth. And it's hard to understand that the very tool that's being used against them is the tool that they use the most and believe in the most. But I had to remind myself something that I've been reminding myself through all these years that I've been knowing about this, and that is that everybody has their own journey, and we have to respect everyone's journey and allow them to awaken at their own pace. In 2014, I was learning a lot about this for the first time. I was one of those people that was so hungry, I was just going everywhere looking for it. Once I woke up, and I'm seeing some people right now that are very close to me going through that, and it's very exciting to watch. You know who you are. Just so thirsty for the knowledge and looking everywhere for it and getting their hands on everything and going down the rabbit hole. You have been red-pilled. So, when that was happening to me, I was going on Facebook because, I was like huge into Facebook at the time. Like, I was one of those people that posted like what I was eating and what I was doing, everything I did. And I was complaining on Facebook about what I was learning. At the time, I'll name drop some YouTubers that brought me into the truth. I no longer follow any of these people. As a matter of fact, they're not even the same entities that they used to be, if they still exist. The most powerful one was Alex Jones, the Alex Jones Show, and Anonymous. And I just was flabbergasted by the information I was hearing and the research to back it up and the documents to back it up, and oh God, so much to back it up. And David Icke, of course, who I still love to this day. That man is a warrior for real. And he deserves the following that he has. I wish I had every single one of his books in my house, because I probably would never put them down. That man has so much research and knowledge that dates far beyond even our ancestors. But anyway, that's off topic. So I was online and I was complaining about something, I don't even know what. And one of my friends, not just a Facebook friend, but an actual friend, replied to my comment and said, you can sit up here and complain about all this stuff all you want to, but what are you going to do about it? And that's when a light bulb went off for me in my life. And it's in that moment that I became soul therapy. I decided to see what could I do about it. And the more I chased that question, the more the synchronicities of life led me to working on myself, finding inner stability and inner peace and self-love, things that I'm still working on. And things that are going to challenge all of us, even more so as this series of events continue to unfold. So I began that journey. And it was really, 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 really hard. It required looking at myself in the mirror, not blaming other people for things that have happened to me or for the life that I currently had in that moment in 2014. I had, had serious postpartum, and as a result of that, I had to get on medication. And it occurred to me during this transformation that the medicine was keeping me sick. It was a Band-Aid. It was not allowing me to experience the things I needed to experience in order to grow. And knowing what I know now, I think that's exactly what it's designed to do. So I painfully got off this medication, and it was not easy. At one point, I was seriously thinking of taking my own life. What I'm talking about is the dark night of the soul, and I'm going to do a video on that. It's already in the working, and I'll talk at the end of this video of other things that are also in the making right now. But the point is that the awakening process, and everybody I've talked to that has been through it, what many of you are currently going through, and are going to be going through even more so in the very near future, creates an extremely large amount of discomfort, pain, and confusion. And the key to dialing down that pain, discomfort, and confusion is to do what I call go within. You go within, you look for the answers there, and it may not make sense to you right now, but it will when you're going through this. It's a magic pill. Everything you've ever needed is inside you. And even us in the spiritual community that know this and have been living it for many years are still going through it. It is an ongoing process of finding something, working through it, and either resolving it or chipping away at it. It's like an onion, just peeling layers of the same thing. Where you think you may have finally resolved it, and there's something deeper under it that needs to be resolved before it can be resolved. And learning this about myself is what brought me into hypnotherapy and past life regressive work, or just umbrella working with the subconscious. Because the subconscious is the shortcut to all this stuff. If you learn how to work with your own subconscious or find someone who can help you navigate those waters, like an hypnotherapist or a spiritual healer of any kind, whether it be Reiki, acupuncture, which I love so much, energy healing, Chios, readings, astrology readings, tarot readings, intuitive readings, hypnotherapy, past life regressions. QHHT is a really good tool. It's fantastic. All of these things are things that I used and that I provide and that I think everyone should take advantage of to open the subconscious mind and find out what's going on in there. Hold the mirror up in front of your face and find out who you really are. What's really important to you? What are you really about? What is blocking you from being who you really are? Is it hatred, envy, jealousy, insecurity, unworthiness, anger? Anger is a big one and the cause of most cancer. Learning that every dis-ease you have is caused by an emotional imbalance, something that's not being addressed, something that's being suppressed within the psyche. We are incredible beings made of energy. Even scientists have looked at the atom and see that it just goes on to infinity. There's no beginning and there's no end, and that's what you're made out of. More empty space than anything. Don't believe me? Go look at the research. So, the whole point of this is, in the last video that I made, I was extremely upset, and I was where I get when change finally happens, which is to a point of feeling like a victim. I don't like feeling unempowered because I know my power, and I don't like feeling like a victim because I know how powerful I am. And so I decided to choose to focus on the solution rather than the problem. And for me, and my advice to you, is to meditate. Whether meditating is doing your makeup, cooking a meal, folding laundry, organizing something, working on a car, exercising, going out in nature, putting your feet in the sand or putting your feet in the grass, which I wish I could do, but I live in the desert, so neither of that stuff works for me. For me, I love to journal. That's how I meditate. And all of you, if you've watched my other videos, know my truth journaling, which is what I do. I write down what's in my mind and then subsequently write down what the truth of it really is. Like, let's not be a victim here. What's really going on? I am in the process of learning quantum manifestations and how the quantum structure works and how our bodies translate or work with the quantum field. I'm also working on spirituality and bringing up my shortcomings and really being brave enough to look at them and learn how to view difficult situations with compassion and love and understanding that there's always something positive behind everything. You can always find the positive. The situation that's going on right now, where we're, now 30 days more as of yesterday of quarantine, has afforded me some really great things in life, considering that I'm not working and I have no place to live or money to get a place to live. the virus has kind of put things on pause for me. Although I know that some people are losing their lives because of their compromised immune systems. I understand the positive way of looking at that, although I'm sure many don't. I lost my mom to cancer, and it was a really, really difficult loss. The catalyst to my going out and finding the truth. And of course, it was devastating to lose my mom in the way that I did, and in any way. But now in hindsight, and this is actually the last step of the grief process, I look back and I see the positive. I see the positive that came out of her passing. Anywho, I want to talk about some projects that I have going on. I recently was doing a project with some near-death experiencers. I was interviewing them to get their stories out because it was a near-death experiencer that helped me change my paradigm of life. And unfortunately, the couple of people that I did interview decided after their interviews that they just felt a little bit too vulnerable on camera and decided not to publish those videos. I'm still working through that. I spent a lot of time preparing for those interviews and had a lot of love behind it. And it's very hard for me to not be able to publish that work. But there are still others that have agreed to still be interviewed, and once I get back on my feet again, I will follow through with those projects. Another one I have that I mentioned earlier is Dark Night of the Soul. I am going to be doing a piece on the Dark Night of the Soul. I've noticed in my research that a lot of people see it a little bit more differently than I do. So I want to make sure that I can encompass a little bit of everybody's experience of it, because there is not one way to look at anything. And then the last thing that I'm working on is intentional communities. There is some prophecies going back from a very long time that state that there is going to be a major event, whether that's a pole shift or a burst from the sun, which I don't think that's exactly it. There seems to be a lot of things going on at one time, especially right now. But probably within the next, 5 to 10 years, there's probably something major that's going to happen to our planet. Not that something major isn't happening already and hasn't been happening already, but so I just want to make sure that people are aware of other opportunities that there are in living situations. So, for example, maybe right now you own a home or you rent an apartment. This may be the paradigm right now, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be that way forever, and things have the potential to greatly change. I think intentional communities are a great way for us to get together and to pull our resources together and create communities that work for everyone, where everyone has a home and everyone has all the resources they need, and we're also communing together and celebrating spirit together. So I'm working on that, and I implore anyone who is interested in this topic to reach out to me via email if they would like to contribute to the research and or building of an intentional community. But that is the research I'm actually doing right now. That's the first piece that's going to come out. The second will probably be the Dark Night of the Soul, but that really depends on whether or not the internet goes down, whether or not something major happens that I feel like discussing before any of these topics My near-death experiencer series was supposed to come out in April. It is no longer coming out in April due to everything that's going on. There needs to be a different order of things. So that being said, I hope to see all you guys checking this video out. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me to know which topics you're interested in and which you don't really prefer. Also, if you'd like to suggest a topic for me to talk about, there is nothing that is taboo. So you can email me, or you can get me on Facebook at soultherapytct@facebook.com. I also like to interact very much on Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram. So you can find those handles on my website at www.soultherapytct.com. And with that, I'm out. Bye, lovies. And just real quick before I forget, I wanted to mention that Conscious Life Expo is promoting a mass meditation on April the 5th at 10:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure to put that on your calendars so we can all raise the vibration of the planet and make sure that anybody that is has a low vibrational intention is being overpowered by our expression of love and compassion from our hearts through meditation. If you need any information about that, please contact me, or you can just look it up online. There are actually several meditations that are going out online right now, promoting mass meditations on the 4th and the 5th of this month. So these days are coming up. Do not forget, please make sure that you participate in that, because when you do, we actually are able to lift the Schumann resonance of the earth, and that has there's some research that's been done that during these times the crime rates actually go down. So it's really important that we believe in this and that we participate in this together.